So let's go through this again. When you think about it, there were 2 or 3 things that really mean relationships are difficult. The first is that unlike we have these weaknesses and we don't do anything about them because no one ever told us they mattered. And so what happens is people go through serial relationships, breaking up again and again because they have never addressed particularly their emotionally reactive pattern. So that's the first thing to get sorted. The second thing is you have to be skilled. You have to actually know really the guts of what good listening and communicating is about. Almost every person, not every person, probably 50% of the people who come to see me as a couple, they say on the phone, we're not communicating very well. Now I know that means code for we've got differences and we clash. We have no idea how to listen to each other. We keep ramping up against each other. And the truth is, this is the bit they can't do. And the truth is, even when you know it, like we did this last week, and we talked about it even the time before, it is challenging to do it. So let's just go over it again. So sort of a summary of what I just said before, particularly towards the end where I've added some more stuff while you were having coffee. So, remember we talked about prefixing a difficult discussion with a statement of ownership about why this is difficult. E.g., can I talk to you about a concern I have about such and such? I just want a couple of minutes. It's about me, it's not about you, that sort of thing. An introduction, that helps. Secondly, talking your viewpoint as being about what is happening in me right now. And that is particularly difficult for people to talk about me because it makes it look like me's the problem when they think you's the problem. So you have to talk about what's going on inside of yourself. Now that takes practice to do that. Staying emotionally, number 3, calm, or owning and asking support for your emotional struggle. Most people don't do that because they don't trust that they're going to get it. So why would you ask for help when you don't believe you're going to get it? And you can only really get it if you've learned to calm down and do it slower. Number 4, starting out by telling your partner what you want to listen to them, that you want to listen to them once they listen to you. Now that can be really useful. It can be part of the prefix, if you like, number 1. Because then I want to just process with you. Can you listen to me? And then I'm really keen to hear what you have to say. Something like that. It's really helpful to say right at the beginning, I want balance here. You can see there's quite a lot to it really. There's quite a few skills in here. Number 5, ensuring that what you say is concise, preferably including words that describe your feelings about this matter right now. And that's essential if you're the anxious style. Because if you're the anxious style, you're going to want your partner to understand your emotions, so you have to state them. Number 6 is the listener remind yourself that this matter is their problem and that it's an act of love that you want to offer them by listening to it non-judgmentally. So okay, you're really bothered, you bother with me, I love you, so I'm going to listen to you. I'm going to really make myself... You see, this is a discipline that most people don't have. They don't, in that moment, think, I love you, so I'm going to go out of my way. What they do is they don't think actually, they react defensively. Number 7, ensuring that an anxious person's emotions are heard and reflected, and the avoidance story is heard and reflected. So the anxious person usually wants their emotions heard, and the avoidant really wants their story heard. Number 8. Yes, please.
When you said, and react defensively, so how can we not do that? It's a real embedded trait.
It is. So we've talked about this before, haven't we? So the only way I know how not to do that is to know your emotional trigger. And then to say, okay, I'm likely to get anxious, I'm likely to get ramped up when she speaks, or something like that. So I'm going to stay calm. Well, you described that really well, Dave, what you were doing back there. Focus on staying calm, right? Focus on staying calm. Because if you're staying calm, you're halfway there. It's true, you're really halfway there if you're staying calm. And you really got to know that if that person's saying something about me, I don't have to defend it. Like, this isn't a war. They've got a problem, and I love them, so I want to help them with their problem, even if the problem seems to be me. But you've got to remind yourself, you're not really the problem. What the problem is the difference. That's usually the problem. It's a good point, though. To just take practice. Like, you know, take practice. It's not just about learning it. You've just got to keep doing it. Number 8, agreeing in general that if after listening to each other's resolution, a resolution hasn't been reached, that you agree to pick up the discussion at a later date. Agreed to before you finish. Now that's really helpful, because if you're putting two things out, two different viewpoints, and you come to no conclusion, it's good to say, okay, can we pick this up later? Or if one person's saying, oh, I don't really know. Some people are quite on the uptake and some people are reflective. So if you're a reflective person, you're going to require longer to think about something. Now that can be a real problem for the person who's a quick thinker. So it's really good if you negotiate, well, let's pick this up at breakfast time tomorrow morning or whatever, so that then the reflective person knows that they've got to come back. But the reflective person, if they try to make decisions too fast, conclusions too fast, they'll get themselves into trouble, because they need time to process it all. And you'll know reflective people because they tend to be slow with their words, they tend to find it hard to find the right words, they tend to look at the questions and so on when they're trying to work it through. Reflective thinkers absolutely need more time, otherwise they're going to come to a decision they'll regret. So the anxious style trying to be concise and talking about how they feel, so the avoidant person can better understand them and reflect back those emotions. Now the anxious style, remember, tends to be a storyteller, and most of those stories are generated by the emotion that in childhood no one ever listened to. So they're used to telling stories at length frequently, and what happens is they also tend to interrupt, because they get worried about their story not being understood, so they interrupt. And what happens is if they don't talk about their feeling, they tend to tell these long stories, and the avoidant person just can't hang in. They just can't keep track of it all. So the anxious person has to learn to be concise, preferably, and talk about what's going on at a feeling level. Number 10, the avoidant style, making sure they empathise with what their anxious partner is feeling, but not then trying to fix those feelings as if they're a problem. Now that's the avoidance trap. The avoidance trap is to fix the problem. In particular, the fact you got some facts wrong. You need some facts improved here. So that will definitely get them into trouble. Number 11, the anxious style, making sure that the avoidant is invited to have their say. If the anxious person does that, it's good for both, because the anxious person has to stop in order to do the invitation, and the avoidant style is invited to say something. Now, it depends on the avoidant person, but some avoidants get overwhelmed with what's being said and sometimes need invitation, others don't. Number 12, the anxious style, ensuring they don't dominate discussion, but include their partner and invite their comments. So the anxious style, once the anxious style gets underway, there's a real difficulty avoidance, because avoidance have got to remember, oh, I must mention that. Oh, she hasn't got that right. Oh, and I need to do that. And what happens is they get overwhelmed, and then they lose track, and then they get really frustrated because they can't remember everything they were going to say. That's why it's important for the anxious person to be concise if possible. How are we doing with this? We're sort of back to what we were doing last week, but you can see it really is where the rubber meets the road. If you can remember that you're with your partner because there's so many good things about them. So if the communication is going a little bit pear-shaped, that doesn't mean your partner's a problem. That means there's a skill problem. Not your partner's a problem, there's a skill problem. So we just got to keep working on it. Any questions? Okay. So, plugging weaknesses. Remember, the Guru Ramdev boy talked, he didn't want these weaknesses in his personality. So we appreciated the horrible police inspector because he helped him with his weaknesses of tending to be reactive. So this young boy was never reactive. He was the only person when stuff was going on, he was the only calm person. But that creates, for a 15-year-old to be well enough emotionally managed, that's pretty amazing. Okay, so are we ready to go back and meet with the rubber meets the road again? I want to do this once more. I want you to see if you can do this. And this time, mark, what I'd like the two marks to do is I'd like you to have this discussion as if the other mark was your partner. So I want the other mark to play the role of a partner. Now you could referee here, that would be really great to have you do that. Because it would be really interesting to see, because then what you've got to do is you've got to play not only your role, but you've got to put yourself in the position of the anxious person as well. Give that a go? Yes? So we'll give you just about 15 minutes. And then to finish off today, I want to talk about the stuff that really I was hoping to get to earlier, and that is prioritizing connectedness. That's why I really want to prioritize connectedness. So you go away and you've got a week when you can really work on your ways of prioritizing connectedness and engagement. How do you do that? How's that rhythm going to work? So we'll come back and do that. Alright, so I'll give you 10-15 minutes to go off and try that again. See how you do.